is the Alonzo Makeup tutorial for cats. Hi Kylie. So the first thing we're gonna do is look in your bag right here, and inside you've got a brown kind of tan, gray, black, white, and 2 brushes. You're gonna wanna get some napkins and some water as well. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take our white paint and we're going to paint around the mouth kind of in a half circle. And you're going to go like this on either side and kind of use your smile line as a base as to where you're putting it. Okay, and then we're just going to fill that in.
You want to ask Mr. Mistopheles, the original conjuring cat. The greatest magicians have something to learn from Mr. Mistopheles' conjuring turn. And we all say, oh well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. He is quiet, he is small, he is black, from the ears to the tip of his tail. He can creep through the tiniest crack. He can walk on the narrowest rail. He can pick any card from the pack. He is equally cunning with dice. He's always deceiving you into believing that he's only hunting for mice. He can play any trick with a cork, or a spoon and a bit of fish paste. And if you look for a knife or a fork, and you think it is merely misplaced, you have seen it one moment, then it is gone. You find it next week lying out on the lawn. And we all say...
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is grab our gray paint, and starting from where we started the white, we're going to just draw a line diagonal towards the ear, like so. This doesn't have to be an exact line because we're going to buff it out later. And actually, we're going to buff it out a little bit right now using our finger. You're just going to smooth it out a little bit so that it's not as harsh a line, but we'll go back and do it a little better in a minute. And you're going to do this on each side of the face.
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
My manner is vague and aloof. You would think there was nobody shyer, but my voice has been heard on the roof when I was curled up by the fire, and I've sometimes been heard by the fire when I was...
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do to buff this out a little bit more, turn your face like this a little bit, is we're going to wet the brush a little bit more than we normally would, and you're going to dab it in and put a little bit on the top line here, just dab it on there. Then taking your finger, you're just going to buff it upwards and continue to do this, wetting your brush and dabbing it on. We just want it wet enough so where we can kind of smear it so it's not as harsh.
about on the roof. At least they all heard that somebody purred, which is incontestable proof of my singular magical powers. And I've known the family to call me in from the garden for hours when I was asleep in the hall.
And not long ago, this phenomenal cat produced 7 kittens right out of a hat. And we all say, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
So the next thing we're going to do is add more gray to the face. And you're going to start where the brow starts right here and draw a line angled back towards the hairline. And then you're going to do the same thing at the end of the brow and do it back towards the hairline. And we're going to buff these lines out using the same technique that we used here. And you're going to do this on both sides of the face.
Produce 7 kittens right out of a hat. And we all say, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the magical Mr. Mistopheles! Skimble Shanks, the railway cat, the cat of the rail.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is grab our tan paint and we are going to draw the eye part. And you're just going to shape out the crease here and wing it out. And you're going to do that on both eyes. You're also going to bring it down a little bit in the corners.
There's a whisper down the line at 11:39 when the night mail's ready to depart, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? Has he gone to hunt the thimble? We must find him or the train can start.
All the guards and all the porters and the station master's daughters would be searching high and low, saying, Skimble, where is Skimble? For unless he's very nimble, then the night mail just can't go. At 11:42, with the signal overdue, and the passengers all frantic to a man, that's when I would appear and I'd saunter to the rear. I'd been busy in the luggage van.
Then he gave one flash from his glass green eyes, and the signal went all clear.
They'd be off at last for the northern part of the northern hemisphere.
Skimble Shanks, the railway cat, the cat of
Alright, the next thing we're going to do with our tan paint is color in the lips. You're just going to do it as you would regular lipstick.
railway train.
You might say that by and large it was me who was in charge of the sleeping car express. From the driver and the guards to the bagman playing cards, I would supervise them all, more or less.
Down the corridor he paces and examines all the faces.
Alright, moving on to black paint, we are going to fill in the brows. So you're going to fill in the brow as normal, but you're going to bring it down the nose a little bit. And then we're going to make it look a little more hairy as well, which I'll show you how to do in a minute.
Other travelers in the first and the third. He establishes control by a regular patrol, and he'd know at once if anything occurred. He would watch you without blinking, and he saw what you were thinking, and it's certain that he didn't approve of hilarity and riot, so the folk were very quiet when Skimble was about and on the move. You could play no pranks with Skimble Shanks. He's a cat that couldn't be ignored. So nothing went wrong on the northern bill when Skimble Shanks was aboard.
It was very pleasant when they found their little den with the name written up on the door. And the berth was very neat with the newly folded sheet.
Alright, so the way we're going to make this look a little bit more hairy, kind of, is we're going to have two little streaks right here, and then three in the front right here. You're going to do that in both eyebrows.
And not a speck of dust upon the floor. There was every sort of light. You could make it dark or bright, and a button you could turn to make a breeze, and a funny little basin you're supposed to wash your face in, and a crank to shut the window should you sneeze. Then the guard looked in politely and would ask you very brightly, do you like your morning tea?
Weak or strong?
But I was right behind him and was ready to remind him, for Skimble won't let anything go wrong.
When they crept into their cozy berths and pulled up the counterpane,
They all could reflect it was very nice to know that they wouldn't be bothered by mice.
They could leave all that to the railway cat, the cat on the railway train.
Alright, the next thing we're going to do is the eyeliner. So you're going to do eyeliner as you regularly would, but we're not going to do a wing, but you are going to bring it down in the corner of the eye.
In the watches of the night, I was always fresh and bright. Every now and then I'd have a cup of tea, with perhaps a drop of scotch while I was keeping on the watch, only stopping here and there to catch a flea. They were fast asleep at crew, and so they never knew that I was walking up and down the station. They were sleeping all the while I was busy at Carlisle, where I met the station master with elation. They might see me at Dumfries if I summoned the police, if there was anything they ought to know about.
when they got to Gallowgate, then they did not have to.
Alright, the next thing we're going to do is the cat nose. And you're going to fill in the tip of the nose like a triangle, like a cat would.
For Skimble Shanks would help them to get out. And he gives you a wave of his long brown tail, which says, I'll see you again.
Alright, you're going to draw a line from the nose to the top of the lip in the center. And then we are going to draw kind of like a little mustache, handlebar mustache, on top of the upper lip, above it, outlining it.
We'll meet without fail on the midnight mail, the cat on the railway train. You will meet without fail on the midnight mail.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is make 3 little V's right on either side of that line, from the nose to the mouth. The V's are kind of going to be going outward, and you're going to do that on each side.
The cat on the railway train.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is kind of do the whiskers, and what you're going to do is on the line between the gray and the white, you're going to do little marks that are going to be the whiskers, and leave a little bit of space in between each one of them. There you go. And you're going to do that on both sides. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is go to the forehead, and we're going to draw some little marks here at the top, starting in the center, and you're kind of going to make a triangle-like shape, but with little lines like so. Alright, we're going to do another thing with our black paint. So underneath the lip, you're going to make a few little marks, kind of like a little beard, a little cute beard. Okay, and then we are going to finish the eyes by underlining or outlining them with black And then you're gonna bring it out here with the water line a little bit in the corner. And you're gonna do that on both sides. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is grab our white paint once again, and with the space in between our tan paint and our eyebrow, we're going to color that white. And it's going to end in a tip, or a point right here. And then you're also going to take the white paint after you finish filling this in and put it in between the black lines here. Like so.
McCavity's a mystery cat. He's called the Hidden Paw, for he's a master criminal who can defy the law. He's the bafflement of Scotland Yard, the flying squad's despair. For when they reach the scene of crime, McCavity's not there. McCavity, there's no one like McCavity. He's broken every human law. He breaks the law of gravity. His powers of levitation